Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of our coverage of the D23 convention, coming to you live from the Anaheim Convention Center in Anaheim, California. It's a good place to put the Anaheim Convention Center. And I'm joined I'm Pete Werner, joined on my right by my producer, Mr. Craig Williams.
Hello.
And my associate producer, Mr. Rhino Clavin.
Hello, good morning.
And we are all recovering from the sheer tonnage of announcements and revelations that came out of the Parks and Resorts panel yesterday. It was insane.
So I don't know that I've ever seen so many massive major announcements at once. You know, there's been the big one and then the little ones.
Well, I'm going to say something that might upset Craig, or he might vehemently disagree with this. But once I had a chance to process all of the announcements, there was one thought, one feeling that has been really pervasive for me ever since, and that is the competition between Disney and Universal is over. There is nothing Universal can do.
Okay, I've got something I thought about last night too.
Well, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
There is nothing, in my opinion, that Universal is going to be able to do in the next 10 years that's going to counter this. I don't care if they open a third gate. I don't care what the third gate is. Disney, in yesterday's panel, basically said, you have annoyed us long enough, and we're done with you. And they have thrown the kitchen sink at this. Over the course of the next 5 years, until all of it comes to fruition, Disney market share in Orlando is going to continue to erode somewhat in favor of Universal. But as these new things come online, as Star Wars Land opens, as this new hotel opens, this new hotel broke the internet. The Star Wars Hotel, it is insane. As this stuff comes online, it is going to be increasingly difficult for Universal to respond. They will. I don't think they're going to go quietly into that good night, but I think it's over. I honestly do. I think it ended yesterday.
I was thinking, speaking of the hotel, this is what I was started. They didn't really say where they were building the hotel, but there's been that kind of mystery plot of construction across from the Art of Animation, and here's what I'm thinking. So they're saying the hotel is completely immersive. That's going to back that hotel. I don't think there's anything between that hotel and the back of Hollywood Studios. That hotel is going to open into Star Wars Land. So you will go from your fully immersive hotel experience into your fully immersive theme park experience. And that, to me, that's like you said, it's the game changer that I don't know where you go from here.
And it's only one of the game changers that got announced yesterday.
Yeah.
I think there are a number of lesser game changers, but you see, honestly, just I can't use the language that goes into my head when I think about this. This is Disney saying, screw you. I'm done. I'm done dealing with you. You've been nipping at my heels, breathing down my neck long enough. Here, I'm going to smack you in the next week. What are you going to do with that, Universal?
Well, I mean, I definitely think it's going to have a pretty big impact, but a lot too. The Tron ride's going to be a success. Ratatouille is going to be very popular too. We know because they're already popular in other places. So it's not a surprise that those are going to draw in a lot of new people. In terms of Disney still creating that fully immersive experience, while I believe Pandora is extremely immersive in every way, it's still not quite the same as being immersed into say Harry Potter. Because
and I'll tell you the truth, Craig, I'm not even counting Pandora. I'm talking about just with what was announced yesterday.
Yeah, but my point is, if Disney doesn't follow through on everything that they're saying with it, if there's lapses in the storyline and the immersiveness, which there could be because it's not something they've really gone down that road of before, then that could hurt them. They have to deliver in order to crush it.
Well, my fear is the rush to meet the deadlines is going to wipe out the details that we look forward to so much. So I hope that I would say to Disney, I know, the joke is they take forever. They took 7 years, 8 years to build a parking garage, whatever, 2-3 years.
But it's 18 months.
But I'd rather it get done right than just get done to be open. So that's the whole we're building Star Wars Land in this amount of time.
Absolutely. I'll give you this. The onus is now on Disney to not only get it done fast, but get it done right at the same time.
Yeah.
At this level, you can't mess that up. You're going to have. There is real competition, but the energy coming out of that panel yesterday the energy of just what we were hearing.
Oh yeah.
This is Disney saying, okay, we get it. We get it. We've got to make some real changes in order to remain relevant. We've got to up our game. An enormous amount of money. Think about what it's going to take to develop everything they announced. Billions of dollars being committed, not even including what they're spending to build Star Wars Land. Again, just what they announced yesterday.
Yep.
Billions more being committed to the Disney parks, especially out in Orlando. So, I mean, it really is. It took me a few hours to really process what was announced, and that's like I said. Once that hit me, I'm like, just the feeling and the thought that was overwhelming for me is, it's over. It's over. The competition at the level that it has been at is over. Now, if Universal announces that they are buying all of downtown Orlando and turning it into, some Jurassic Park, Harry Potter hybrid, I don't know, it's something incredible. I don't know what else I could do.
It's not over.
It's over.
It's not over.
It's over. It's
No,
over.
It's
they
not.
are relegated. They will be relegated to second tier status.
Wow.
They will lose. They will gain some market share over the next few years as things come online. But Disney will recapture that market share and may even look. Harry Potter is very, very popular. No more movies coming out. That is going. At some point the bloom is off the rose there. So as that, because it's been open for a while now. Unless, I don't know. I can't think of what they could possibly announce.
I'm sure they have some tricks up their sleeve. They also have other things going for them right now, which is that they're better at guest service than Disney, and a lot of people are starting to pick up on that too. So, it's not usually about new attractions why people want to come to Disney. They're saying they're giving up because too many lines, not being managed well, too many issues with cast members. That's where the problems are really coming in. So until Disney fixes that, it doesn't matter how much flashy attractions they throw out there.
I think that that's a lot easier of a problem for them to fix than it is in terms of expanding the offerings in the parks. But I'm telling you, I really think that if Disney delivers the quality that goes along with these announcements, it's game over. It's game over. I don't think there's anything Universal can do to fully and completely respond. For the last few years, we've had this tennis match going on up and down I-4, where Disney does something, then Universal does something, then Disney does something, then Universal does something. Well, Disney just lobbed about 14 aces across the net right at Universal's head. And I just, like Universal's like cowering, trying not to get hit. Let's see what they respond with. They're going to have to respond with something. And I could be wrong here. I'll be fully on it. I love Universal, and I think Universal has done an outstanding job. I agree with you. They are beating the pants off Disney in the service department. And they have been aggressive. They have been creative. Those parks, that whole resort area has never been better than it is right now. But this was Disney saying, watch this. I can't imagine what they can do to respond. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think we're going to find out sooner rather than later. I think the announcement of a third gate can't be far off. And no, Volcano Bay is not a third gate.
Okay, so they built a third park. So I get why they refer
It's a water
to it as
park.
third
It's not a third gate. That's marketing BS. It's a water park. When we talk third gate, we're talking theme park. Do you disagree? You think it's a third gate?
I mean, I just think it's there. I also think that there are two, water theme parks in Disney that for some reason they just don't refer to ever. So you know what I mean? I don't understand why Disney doesn't refer to their other 2 parks that they have. I think it's something worth saying that it's a Universal property that's like a thing.
Because Universal
I know what you're
has
saying
this
though.
habit. Universal has this habit with their marketing of really overreaching. Remember the original Wizarding World of Harry Potter, a theme park within a theme park. So you had people showing up expecting another theme park, and when they saw what it was, they were pissed.
Yeah.
So Universal has a habit of overselling on their marketing and under-delivering the experience. I'm not saying the Volcano Bay isn't great. Everything I've heard is awesome, but I don't think water parks count really and truly as third gates. That's my opinion. But they will need another theme park is my point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They will need another theme park that doesn't require a bathing suit.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's that. We'll put that out there for now. I'm sure we'll have more discussions on that over the weeks and months to come. But I also want to talk about the folks who were in the Parks and Resorts panel yesterday got a chance. They got fast passes to see a soft opening of the new Fantasmic over at Disneyland Park.
Yeah.
And Craig, you were there. Were you over there too?
No, I was helping Craig out with uploading all those videos that are on our other YouTube channel at youtube.com/WDWinfo if you want to check out all those announcements. So
yeah, we have still tons of stuff coming out, stuff from the live action panel, stuff from the animation.
It was exciting.
So not only did my boy sleep on pavement to get into a panel yesterday, but then he went to Disneyland last night and did an awesome job filming Fantasmic.
Oh, we have to give Rhino credit too.
Why?
He also slept on pavement.
But he didn't go to Fantasmic.
He didn't, but he was helping out back here.
That's not as glamorous.
It means more to me.
So my boys, right? I've been hearing, ever since I tweeted that picture yesterday of you waking up on a pile of your own drool, or maybe someone else's, who knows? But
he doesn't know what I was doing when he was listening.
Everybody telling me how dedicated these guys are. You don't have to tell me that. You do not have to tell me how hardworking and dedicated these 2 guys are. I am the luckiest guy around to have the team I have, especially these 2. And I tell them that all the time. It's not just for camera. I don't beat them when the cameras are off. Well, Craig sometimes, but I tell them that all the time. These guys are amazing. So talk to me about Fantasmic. What did you think?
It was pretty breathtaking, to say the least. The big worry going in the show was that they were just going to completely destroy something that was already perfect in a lot of people's eyes. The old Fantasmic was my favorite Disney Park show, nighttime show. I like fireworks. I love World of Color. But something about Fantasmic at Disneyland, being just so close on the rivers of America, you're like right in the action.
It's great, yeah.
The plot just moved along more seamlessly than ours did in Walt Disney World. Just everything about it was amazing. And I have to say, for the most part, they have truly upgraded this. The projections and some of the water effects, I feel like they've learned what they were doing with World of Color, and they ported it into Fantasmic, and so Fantasmic looks better than it's ever been before. Just the details, it's so crisp and clear. It's absolutely incredible.
So I'm going to tie this back around to the discussion we were just having when you talk about Disney needing to deliver on the details. So here's an example then of them doing just that.
Yeah. It also, I will say, it also shows where Disney sometimes doesn't quite listen to audience feedback. In my point of opinion, the Pirates portion that changed out for Peter Pan, it brought the show to a halt.
Really?
Yeah. It just didn't work for me.
Why? What was it?
It felt like when Frozen first started being added to everything, it just felt, some places it felt perfect, like in World of Color, Winter Dreams, but then other places like Celebrate the Magic, it just felt shoot in, and that's exactly what this feels like, because it is this journey through Mickey Mouse and the animated world, and then there's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Oh, so it's the only live action element in it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you feel like they kind of somebody along the way just completely forgot the original idea or the original theming behind it or whatever. Like,
I don't know.
How long do you think before it's pulled?
I think they're going to ride with it because,
Really, especially out here. I mean, if the Disneyland fans are giving that kind of feedback, they're very responsive out here to their fans.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about how people do feel. I haven't looked at
So
the
you didn't
buzz.
poll everyone that was there last night?
No, I didn't.
I'll say
What do I pay you for?
I just think that going into it, from the people that I know and talk to out here, they were upset because the Peter Pan portion of Fantasmic is like
It was
what
cool.
truly took that show to the next edge. It's just
when they cut the rope pulls him up, so it's like he's flying on the ship. That was always cool. And well, my thing was because I watched the video for like 2 seconds over here. It's not Johnny Depp's voice, but it is Captain Jack Sparrow, and it sounds. I don't know if the guy doing the stunt is actually speaking or if it's just included in the soundtrack, but it sounds like they put somebody in a recording studio and were like, "All right, give us your best, Captain Jack," and it wasn't. It was like, oh, that's like if your friend at a bar gives the impression you're like, oh, ha ha ha, that's funny. It wasn't like, oh yeah, that's like Captain Jack. And it feels. It's like what you said. It doesn't. Yeah. When the guy's talking, it doesn't. I didn't hear any excitement in the voice. So that's the only thing that I thought it caught me. It was weird.
That was the only thing though. Besides that, a lot of the changes were actually for the positive. Dropping Snow White out of the princess portion, putting in Rapunzel and Flynn Rider from Tangled in there instead, having Aladdin and Jasmine flying on the magic carpet during that portion too. Really beautiful, and that's what they did for a lot of it. They took the classic scenes, they left them in, but they just added new elements to it. So like during the Jungle Book portion, still the same, except they blend in the Lion King with it too. So that way it just adds a new life into it. And yeah, it really comes down to that. It keeps the familiar bass parts and just takes it to another level with where technology is now, and a brand new soundtrack to go along with it that keeps a lot of the themes still there. But I got to tell you, people are going to be, rushing there for fast passes for the next months and months and months.
Well, if you're going to Disneyland Park today, you might want to check it out again because they're doing another showing of it tonight.
Yeah, another showing of it tonight, and then of course it opens officially tomorrow. But so a scale of 1 to 10, Craig. New Fantasmic. Go.
8 or 9. It's very high up there.
So while the Pirates piece you felt really doesn't fit, it doesn't destroy the overall.
No, it just
overall show.
It's a 2-minute portion of a 27-minute show.
Okay.
So,
and of course you can see the full video that Craig and Rhino have posted. YouTube.com/WDWinfo is where that is located. So, all right. We due to some technical issues we had yesterday, we were not able to finish our discussion on the live action panel that took place. So I know, Rhino, you have some things you wanted to make sure you talked about.
Oh yeah, well it's unfortunate because we got all the way. We talked about Mary Poppins, and we got to Star Wars, and we talked about the featurette. It kind of showed. We saw some new stuff, but it wasn't. It's more the making of it, which I thought the featurette they showed us was beautifully shot, and some very exciting looking like camera work and practical stunts being performed for this, and it was nice to kind of see all the cast on set and in costume, and it made you feel, when I feel like you see a group of people working on a movie and they have like a genuine love and camaraderie, love for what they do, love for each other, it makes you excited. And so like I'm very excited to see how this is going to be very different, because the thing in the Star Wars panel was just, they really were like, it's surprising, it's going to surprise people. Not everybody will, it might not everybody, it tells the Star Wars story at heart, but in a surprising new way, and that has me very excited. I like when they take risks. It could pay off, it could not pay off, but I have a feeling like it's going to go in a new direction, and that's going to keep it from getting stale. I mean, this is the 9th Star Wars movie now, so you're like...
Not only did they say it wasn't just surprising, unexpected.
Unexpected, yeah,
and to me, that's a word that carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like, there will be something that just knocks us
That's a Luke, out. I'm your father. You're like,
exactly.
Whoa! Like, so it's,
It's also a massive risk.
Yeah, I agree, because potentially they could go I've heard that this takes something in a new direction, so this could potentially introduce a new idea. The same way, okay, so when it didn't pay off would be episode 1, when they started introducing the idea of midi-chlorians in the Force, and that has been the number one, like...
well, you have to hope they've learned from that, from that experience, or just, from watching that experience. That wasn't Disney, that was George Lucas.
Yeah.
So do you think this is Disney basically, saying, okay, we've kind of carried through the George Lucas stuff, and now we're going to put our own spin on it?
Yeah, I think this is essentially like it's time to take it from the creator. Or this sounds very religious, but it's time to take it from the mountain on high, take the lightning from Zeus and give it to the mortal now, because they learned, this is people who grew up, and this is the reason they became who they are, because of their love. J.J. Abrams always says his number one influence was Star Wars, and here we are, flash forward to he's, making a Star Wars film, which is arguably one of the best ones in the series, and then now we've got Rian Johnson, same thing. He grew up, he loves Star Wars, and this is a very talented writer-director that excites me, because it's some people who maybe even like, you can create a piece of art and it speaks to people in different levels, so somebody else will create a piece of art inspired by you, but in an emotional way that you might not have thought of yourself or didn't see it going. So it's just a very exciting time to be in the Star Wars universe. We saw it a little bit with Rogue One, and I know you love Rogue One, and it's it was my thing with that is like, that is the best made Star Wars fan film I've ever seen, because it was a guy who grew up watching Star Wars. So
right.
it looked like something I would have pretended to play like at recess or at daycare or something like that, So I'm happy that the opportunities like this are coming around in the world.
And when they use words like unexpected, I feel like at this point, to a degree, they've earned our trust.
Oh yeah,
they have earned our trust, and that just doesn't go with this film, but also with as we talk about everybody that poo-pooed Pandora for years and years, and now they go, oh my God, it's amazing. I think they deserve at least the benefit of the doubt, if not our trust. And if they screw it up, then okay, that's a different story.
And again, as we mentioned yesterday when we talked about Lion King with Jon Favreau, when he said, you guys trusted us with Jungle Book.
Yeah.
And thank you, because now it's allowing us to do this and trust us again.
Yeah. And we understand how important this is. We understand that these are what it means to you. It's an interesting.
It's about finding the right fit for whether it's directors, the stars that are in it, the crew, all that. It's more important to find the best fit for what Disney wants to do than it is to just let it open up and whatever happens. And I think they're good at it.
Yeah, and it's a good segue into the next part of the panel too, because when Disney bought Marvel years ago, everyone's like, oh, and I was one of these people. I went, oh God, now we're never going to see anything that's true to form. It's all going to be, it'll be like animated, or it'll be PG and stuff. And now they've gone, look at Guardians of the Galaxy. That, when I see that movie, I am surprised at the language used in that movie, but I like it because it's essentially like that higher up PG-13 rating versus something that's definitely like Big Hero 6 is down here, and it's exciting. And then also then they gave us the Netflix TV series, which are very I don't care what they say, those are like rated R. They are very bloody, very gritty, and so I just think of that thought I had when the initial purchase happened and where we are today, and I think that they are hit the ground running with that in Lucasfilm.
And I think that's why I say they've earned our trust, and so when we go into some of this stuff, these announcements that we've heard, planned projects, unexpected twists, we can be concerned, we can be nervous, but I think it's important to remember, the last time we were concerned and nervous, look how it turned out.
Yeah.
So they've earned our trust, and that's kind of what drives me nuts, is that, the internet beats the hell out of them because, it's going to be this, it's going to be that.
Yeah.
Wait till you see it.
Right.
Let's wait till we see it, and then, based on the facts, let's decide whether or not we think it was a good thing or a bad thing. But right now, I got to tell you, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Whether it's in the film division, the animated division, or live action animation, theme parks, it's incredible.
Well, yeah, the big final part of that film panel, the live action that, as Rhino started to say, it was Marvel. they started by announcing that it's about to the 10th year now of Marvel
they showed us
Studios.
The new logo.
They have a new logo, and they're ready. They're ready to kick things off with that with Infinity War, and I mean, I know they couldn't bring out every single person that's in the cast of that movie.
Well, it felt like it almost.
But they just about did. They brought out Sebastian Shaw.
Well, they started with Thanos. So they introduced, and this is Josh Brolin was seen. Thanos was alluded to, or you see his face at the end of the original Avengers movie. Then he's in Guardians a little bit more, and that was Josh Brolin as playing him. And then so that was the big first one. Here's Josh Brolin as Thanos, blah blah. But Thanos is here. We can't just have the bad guy. And then they started like.
So then they're like, well, maybe up against Vision. So Paul Bettany comes out
in the weirdest suit ever.
Yeah, a white suit.
Really?
Yeah, it looked like he'd just gotten back from Wimbledon or an Elton John concert or impersonation.
He looks very British.
Yeah, he does look very British in that picture.
So,
great. I love him.
Yeah, they had Don Cheadle, Anthony Mackie, Elizabeth Olsen, Tom Holland, the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, people went crazy for Spider-Man.
Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth. Chadwick Boseman, who's going to be Black Panther, already has been. Movie coming out soon. Benedict Cumberbatch was there.
Yeah,
I know you would have watched.
Oh my God!
Mindy Kaling ruined the surprise because during the Wrinkle of Time panel, she's like, "Oh, exciting to be here." And I mean, I just saw Benedict Cumberbatch in the green room, and everyone in the audience went, like when she's like,
"Oh my God!"
It was.
I think Alan Horn was probably like, "Oh." I'm not going to do an Alan Horn impersonation, but but he comes out on stage and
they lost their mind.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista was there, Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Josh Brolin then went on to
he said
curse
a
to the
bad
entire
word.
crowd. So I've never heard anyone say the S word in a Disney panel before, but
it's where things are going.
Yeah, ship high in transit.
Drax. I believe the official quote was "Drax ain't." Expletive.
And we were all like, oh, okay.
And then the last person from the stars they brought out, of course, was the one who started it all, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
and
Goosebumps.
Then they played what was...
That was masculine.
Then they essentially played us the trailer, extended look going into the
and
very
they
first
didn't
trailer.
even tell us that's what they were doing. I mean, that's what we thought we were doing because Robert Downey Jr. was essentially like just show it to them. Like, it started out as like a retrospective, kind of like it all led to this, and then it went into, and we saw a lot of stuff. So like I'll give you a description because I don't know if the trailer's coming out, and you can help me with this. But it starts off with the Guardians of the Galaxy or in the Milano flying through space, and there's a body hits the window. It's through a destroyed area, and Rocket's like, get it off, turn the wipers on. I don't want to look at it, and they pull it into the ship, and it's Thor. And so he jumps up and he's like, who are you people? And then they go from there. Like it shows the collector's warehouse is all destroyed and Gamora's in there crying, and then I can't remember the next. I think they go from there to Earth, and they're not sure what to expect. So it's all like make sure you put your mean face on, everybody. Like, and
Thanos comes and starts
just destruction. I mean, it like you get in the trailer, you get to see Spider-Man in his costume that if you haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, there's a costume that shows up at the end of the movie that he doesn't take, but he's wearing it in this suit. So it's like his Iron Spider costume, and then so you get to see him fighting with them. You get to see you see like Star-Lord fighting with Iron Man, like fighting against Thanos with Iron Man. You see just like so many of these characters that you have waited so long to see on screen together. It is like you see Chadwick Boseman's character. It like gives you goosebumps, and it's emotional almost because it is something that like it's really a big payoff for all of us, and it's like, and there's no way you see Captain America shows up dressed all in black with a big beard and everything, and I'm like, well, I don't know, war criminal, he's coming to help, but there's a pretty intense scene where Thanos has his glove on and he like reaches up and goes to pull down, and essentially, I'm assuming it's on Earth, whatever it is, the thing behind him starts breaking apart, the moon or whatever, and like these meteors start coming down, and he punches Iron Man right in the suit in the head, and he falls flat, and you're like, is Iron Man dead? And then he's like squeezing, whose head was he like squeezing?
I think it was Captain America's.
He like just like crushing, like he's about to. And these are two characters that the rumor is they're not going to make it through this film, because there's the setup in the comic for these characters to replace them, and their contracts are pretty much over now. So it's like,
oh wow,
it's just, and they have teased that the next Avengers movie after this, the part 2, is going to be the opening of a whole new era. So it was very exciting, and they really showcased that destruction and massive scale that they're going for. And it feels like this is going to be something special, something different.
Awesome. So
I can't say anything more about it than that.
It was a long wait out overnight, but it was when Disney wants to wow you.
They know how to wow you.
Some effort in, they can wow you.
They put on a good show.
So.
All right. So what's coming? Anything coming up today that you think is going to be interesting?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great stuff happening. Right now, there's like a Lion King panel that's actually happening that a ton of people were excited about. The big thing today is Alan Menken is performing a brand new show, going throughout his entire career. And they're doing that twice today. So a lot of people are super excited about that. I'll be going in to film one of them at least. So we should have video and
some more stuff coming up today.
Exactly.
I want to go through and just do like a little more overview. They did a reveal at the Marvel panel and they didn't say, which I thought was kind of cool. They kept this for the floor, so if you didn't get in, Josh Brolin came out at the Marvel booth over there in the corner, and he held up the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, and they made a reveal of these maquettes or like statuettes of 4 new characters being introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which are the children of Thanos. And they didn't talk about this or show this. We didn't see them in the panel at all, so it was really cool. So I want to go find those little details out there and share that a little bit more. So
bunch of great panels. I'm not sure who's going to what we'll be coming out with, but we'll
have a wrap up a little later on today of the convention and everything that went on today. But Steve Porter and I are also going to have our best and worst of the D23 convention coming up later on today as well. So that's what's happening right now. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll see you again in a little bit with some more coverage from the D23 convention here in Anaheim, California. Have a good day, everyone. See you soon.